Just starting a bench from a piece of log. Getting quite the mess already. Hit it with a planer, then I'll hit it with a sander, make her nice and smooth, then I'll work on the legs. Alright, getting closer. Almost got all the saw marks out of it. A little bit more on this end. A little bit on that top edge here. And a couple that go straight here. But we'll get her there soon enough. Just using a little tiny planer, but making a hell of a pile of sawdust already. Alright, finally done with the time to start doing some sanding. Planer is finished. And I'll fill in the cracks with epoxy. I cut that in flush. Then I'll have to start with the legs. Alright, she's damn near done. It's starting to feel like glass already. So now I gotta hit my epoxy in here before I do my final sanding. A couple spots, like little cracks from the grain. Fill those up with epoxy, let it dry, and then I'll do my finish sanding. Okay, I've got epoxy in the cracks that I found. Now it's time to run the sander over them, and then I'll do my finish sanding. Alright, done with the 120 grit. I'm done with the 200 grit. Now that is ready for some clear coat. There's the epoxy crack. Looks good. It'll look good, especially once it's all clear coated. It'll look pretty. Alright, for the legs of this bench, I'm going to be using rounds. First thing is to cut the flat edge where it's going to sit on the ground. That'll be my section that sits on the ground. Firewood. Go in the rest of the pile. Now I gotta set my bench piece on the top here. I'll trace it out and I'll cut that in with the chainsaw so I know exactly where it's gonna sit and make her so she doesn't rock or roll anywhere. Alright, so I just stand my bench section up on top of the round, trace it out. Now I'm gonna cut that in and see how she fits. Alright, this will give me a rough idea of what I gotta take off in order to make this thing sit down in here properly. I take a little bit off of each corner so that comes down to the bottom of my notch. But it's a rough cut, so now I know exactly where I gotta trim it out. I can scribe it in if I want to, but for now I'm just gonna mark it and take her down so she touches. Okay, after multiple times of taking this top off and on, finally got these things close. Now it's about time to drill some holes, put some dowel in there, hold them so that they're straight, and then I can worry about finishing my legs. I still want to sand them out and stain the whole thing, or that, or just put a clear coat on the whole thing, make it look nice, keep the bugs out, keep the water out. That is, it's sitting down on the doweling pegs, ready to go. The gentleman I was making it for, he said he'll finish it out himself. He'll put the varnish on it, so I don't have to worry about that. I just hope he makes sure he gets one that's weatherproof. But there it is, ready to go. Hope he enjoys. Okay, my customer just asked me to burn it, so I gave it a real quick burn with the torch. Should be good for a little while. Now he can do whatever he wants from there. Have fun!